Your mic, Hoyer. Thank you very much. You point out that 1 in 5 Americans are subject to a non-compete rule.
That's right.
So that's 20% of the American workforce.
That's right.
And your point is, which I take, is that having such a broad spread non-compete rule stifles competition,
That's right.
raises prices, and prevents people from using their own ingenuity in perhaps another way, notwithstanding the fact they're at a very or relatively low level of employee. Is that accurate, all of that?
All of that's accurate, Congressman.
It seems to me in that respect, we all understand that there are certain non-compete agreements that are legitimate. You learn, if you work in a big plant and you learn technology and you get experience, et cetera, and you find out competitive skills and processes that are used in that company that they don't want you taking it someplace else to compete against them. That seems to me to be a legitimate use, but to be used, you made a very low-level analogy in your opening statement, to prevent a worker from either going into business themselves or improving their salaries and working conditions seems to me clearly an objective that is within your responsibility and very good for the American people. That's not a question, it's an observation. I have raised, Mr. Womack also raised with the IRS commissioner, the companies that are saying that they can save your tax money if you owe taxes or didn't pay taxes. They can come in and they can make a very good deal, and you don't pay them anything unless they save you money, which means, obviously, other taxpayers are going to pay a little more because some taxpayers pay much less. Have you looked into that at the FTC?
It's on our radar because of engagement with your office, and any time that a company is making certain representations that don't accurately reflect the services they offer, that can be deceptive and is relevant to the FTC.
Can you briefly tell me what you won't be able to do if we do not approve the budget level that you requested that will then, in turn, harm the American people? And maybe in the process, discuss a little more. I made the point, IRS at the higher end, millionaires and above of income, oversight results $1 spent by the IRS in enforcement results in $12 in savings. You used a higher figure. Can you explain that to us?
So for every $1 that the FTC receives, we return $14 in consumer benefits, which is pretty stunning. And the FTC's budget, basically 70% of that covers our people. So the overhead cost beyond that is pretty low as an overall portion. And so when we have, 5% pay increases that are not funded, that hits us hard. And so if we are not able to get funding to fully support our mission, that's going to mean fewer investigations, fewer lawsuits stopping law breaking by data brokers, fewer lawsuits stopping unlawful surveillance of kids, fewer lawsuits stopping illegal practices by healthcare monopolies, fewer actions to cut back on elder fraud or Made in USA fraud or fraud targeting veterans. And so all of this is a core part of the FTC's work, and if we're not adequately funded, it's going to come at the expense of that.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to pursue that further with you in your office. Also, two things, junk fees. The president's made a real point of that. The administration has. There are a lot of junk fees, and people don't know about them and perhaps don't need them more pointedly. I'd like to look into that further. And also would like to discuss with you more in depth the car rule, because I have some very reputable car dealers who have talked to me about this and indicated this is more make work and doesn't get to a more honest result, which you have opined. So I'm going to look at that further. I don't have time to question you about it in depth, but I do want to look at that further. Thank you.